Yes, perfect. You're visible. And now just show me your recent answer. Yes, perfect. Now you can talk. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, Sneha, you're good to go. All the best. All the very best for you today.
Right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, rather. It's 4:33. So, if you can hear me, I'll like you to say hi or good evening in the chat window if you can hear me properly. And we'll be starting with today's session. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Tarun. Thank you for confirming that. Okay. So today's session is for all of you who are working and who want to make sure that they stand out in their workplace, right? And we are going to have a very smooth discussion where I'm going to help you in understanding why I particularly picked up this session. Okay. So I'll quickly introduce you all to myself, right? I'm Dr. Sneha Sharma, and I'm basically a career coach, and I call myself a career spotlight coach. I help students and young professionals to get the spotlight in their careers. So whether you're a college graduate or you're somebody who's trying to, get into, you're into do a job and you're trying to set up yourself out there, I help you get that spotlight on you. So that's what I basically do. So this session is meant to help you understand that why having confidence is one of the most crucial aspects in workplace, and how you can actually inculcate those skills in you. So why I particularly took this topic, I have been, in my job for last 10 to 12 years. I've worked as an assistant professor, then as an associate professor, and I have been in both the shoes, of an employee, as an entrepreneur, as a creator. So one thing that I felt throughout my journey was that it was very, very important for me to be able to present myself while I was an employee, to make sure that I click. Because throughout my tenure as an employee, I had a very good rapport with all my seniors, and the reason being was that I was very vocal and confident about what exactly I wanted to say. And the contrasting story that I have, which made me take up this session, was is one of my very close, I call soul sister. She is a person who's extremely intelligent, very sharp, but the problem that she was facing was that she wasn't able to make herself stand out in her corporate section, where I helped her in order to achieve that particular dream. So I was very keen to take up this topic because I felt that this is one of the topics which needs to be touched. So in today's session, I'm going to help you build on that. Okay. So, okay, so Abhinay, how did I transition my career across all this? I'll quickly answer this one, and then I'll come to today's session. While I was, when I started my career, I was, since my MBA, I straight away got into teaching. Right from my MBA, I was very sure that I wanted to get into training industry, because during my MBA also I took marketing and HR as my specializations. Then I did a diploma in training and development. So I was always very keen on getting into this particular aspect of training and development. So still, in order to get more knowledge before jumping into entrepreneurship, I picked up a job as an assistant professor, completed my PhD from University Business School, Punjab University, and then got a doctor in front of my name. Again, worked for 3 4 years as associate professor, wrote a couple of papers, did a lot of research projects with students, and that was the time where I realized that now is the right time for me to make that transition and come full time into something which I really enjoy. So that basically brought me into this particular industry. So coming to today's session, I think I say that career and life, they both are synonymous. And why I say that, because throughout your life, for some 9 to 10 hours of your life, you will be always involved in things which are related to your work, which are related to your career. So whether you pick up to become a corporate employee, which is great, or whether you start to have your own venture, which is excellent, or you're joining your dad's business, whatever is it that you're doing, you need to be investing some 9 to 10 to 12 hours of your life into this thing called work. Okay, so being confident at work is very crucial because it is one of the very big W's of our life, which I feel. And in order to be happy, in order to be fulfilled, it is really important for you to be happy for those 9-10 hours of your life when you're working. Okay, so a very common question which is usually asked from most of the people is that how do you think you can excel at your job? So if I ask you this question, what would be your answer? How do you think you can excel at your job? What would be your one line answer to that? Because that will actually help me gearing up this session the way I want to. By performing well. Excellent. Thank you for that answer, George. Anyone else? How do you see that you will be performing well? Working with smart people. Excellent. Right. So that is exactly the point. So if you want to perform well, if you want to work with smart people, if you want to have clear target, it is very very essential for you to know two aspects. Number one, what does your career mean to you? Why have you picked up a career that you have picked up? What is the purpose that you're trying to fulfill? What does your work mean to you? Is it about earning money? Is it about fueling your passion? Is it about every day you're accomplishing that you always wanted to accomplish? Is it about giving service to the society? So, when you have clarity about why you're working in your life, then putting that out in the work area is always very, very easy. So, confidence is the key thing that will come into picture whenever you want to perform well, when you want to have good teamwork, or when you want to make sure that you stand out and give your best. Okay, so confidence is knowing what exactly you have in mind and having the right people to make sure that you're being heard. Do you agree to that? Because when you know what you have to speak, it has happened many times, it must have happened to all of you, that you are in a meeting, you're talking, everybody, there's a brainstorming happening, and then the leader says, okay, anybody has any questions or doubts? You have the right question, you have the right application that needs to be presented, but but you don't speak up. You are not able to put your thoughts together and present them. So I always say, what's here needs to come out in order to make sure and tell the people that what exactly are you doing. Do you agree to that? So having a great mind, having all the knowledge in the world, having great analytical abilities is of no use if you are not able to speak up and tell everyone that what is it that is there in your mind. So, in order to do well at work, you need to be confident. And when I say confident, there is a very fine line between confidence and what we call as overconfidence. Because if somebody is very, very confident, is very vocal, is very, very, keen on putting up thoughts, we call them overconfident. We call them aggressive. And the other way around, when you are not able to speak up, when you feel that you're not able to present yourself, people would call you underconfident. They would say that you are, there's a term called corporate introverts, that you're not able to speak up, right? So being too modest, being too aggressive, none of these things can really work. Okay, so how do you feel confident? That's a great question, Akhil, and that's what I'm going to help you understand today. So in order to make sure that you are doing the confidence key the right way, you need to understand that confidence comes through a very important C, and that is what? That is content. So that means you have to have the right content here so that you can speak out. Confidence is something which is needed for you to present yourself well. I call them three C's. I say it's the content, which is very important. Then you have the communication ability, which is very crucial. And then is the confidence. So this triangle is something which is the building block for any relationship in the world, whether it's a personal relationship or it's a professional relationship. You need to have the right content. You need to know how to communicate. And then only your confidence will be coming out. So, coming down to why at workplace. Why do you really need confidence at workplace? Why do you need it? Because when you have the right confidence, you will be very assertive. You will have a not an aggressive communication style, but an assertive communication style. Aggressive is where you will only be interested in presenting yourself. But when you work in a team, when you're working together, and these days any profession you pick up, even if you're a freelancer, you are still working one to one with so many of your customers, your clients. So it's always a team. There is no profession which works singly. It's always a team which works. So having the right communication style is one of the core basics, one of the core basics for you to have a confident setup amongst yourselves, right? So communication is very crucial. What kind of communication? Assertive communication, where you have the ability to be empathetic, to be kind, and at the same time you present yourselves at the right time with the right kind of words. Then when you are confident at work, what will happen? You will be presenting yourself more. When we are in a situation where we know all the answers, we present ourselves more rather than keeping quiet. And I feel that this word extrovert and introvert, and there's a third term called ambivert, these three are part of every personality. You can't call one person only as an extrovert or an introvert. Most of us will fall into the category of ambiverts, right? For example, you might see my profiles on social media or me speaking at different places, and you might feel that okay, Sneha seems to be an extrovert. But you put me to a personal situation, you put me to a place where whatever is being talked, I have no clue about it, I don't know people out there, I would be a true introvert in that situation. So please, if anywhere in your mind you have kept this myth that you are an extrovert or an introvert, and that is something which is with you for rest of your life, take that out. There is nothing called an extrovert and introvert. These are two traits which exist within amongst us depending on the different kinds of situations we face. Okay, many of us would not speak up at work, but we would present ourselves amazingly well in a social situation or with our friends. So we are not introverts. Actually, it's just that we don't feel confident enough in that situation. So that is how confidence comes into picture. So in order to make sure that at work you are confident, there are three things like I said. First, you will have to have assertive communication, which will help you in performing better. Second, you will be able to contribute more. When you have the confidence, you will be more willing to present your thoughts. You will be willing to present your exact mindset, your, what is it, how you will be able to solve the problems. You will be speaking up more. And number three, you will be communicating effectively. And these three again are connected to the content part. So having knowledge about your domain area, having liking towards what you're doing is very important. That is why when I started this session, I said whatever work you are doing, you need to know why. Why do you go to work every day? Is it about getting some money so that you can go on vacations? Is it about your purpose? Whatever is it, that clarity of mind needs to be there with you. Okay. And when we talk of communication in perspective of work, we all know that whenever we look for promotions, many of you would be working in companies, or even if you are still looking for jobs, in either of the situations, confident individuals are hired more. And why is that so? Because people who are confident have great interpersonal skills, they are more professional. Because they are confident, you will find them more enthusiastic. And these all are what? These all are byproducts of confidence, right? So I hope we all agree that the three C's of a successful life are content, communication, and confidence. So these three are very closely related, and these three come through clarity of thought. Yes, Akhil, content as in what is it that you want to speak? You're sitting in a meeting, there is something being talked about which you have no clue about. How will you present yourself? You cannot communicate until and unless you have something in your mind that you want to put forward. So, having content, what to speak, having communication, the way you speak with the right enthusiasm brings the confidence. And to get all these three together, the basic C is, I'm sorry, I'm introducing you to the fourth C, and this just got structured while we spoke, the clarity. The more clarity you have in your life about what you're doing, why you're doing, your other three C's will be very, very closely aligned and they will work in the right way. Okay, so having confidence at work, in personal relationships, is one of the main aspects which needs to be taken care of. Now, one of you have asked a very interesting question, that how do you become confident if you haven't done much yet? Number one, what makes you say that you have not done much? Okay, so if I take it into the perspective of work, that means that you have not been able to contribute much. Why were you not able to contribute much? If you look at the underlying causes, number one, you did not participate. Number two, maybe you were having a closed kind of a mindset towards that particular thing which was being talked about. Number three, you never mixed up because of the mindset barrier you had. So if you have yet not been able to do much, start now. Start participating from today in order to give one effective point in every meeting, in every brainstorming session is not difficult. We all know this. If you have your listening skills in place, I remember when we used to, practice for group discussions during the CAT exam preparation. Many a times there were topics which many of us had no clue about. I mean, you don't know everything in the world where you can be a leader in talking about. So at times when I didn't know what was this topic all about, I would remain quiet for the first minute. I would listen to, two, three people who knew that topic, or at least they thought they know it. And then I presented myself. So in order to make sure that you make an important point, in order to make sure that you will be able to present yourself confidently, you need to be starting off today. And believe me, everything is a mindset barrier. It's all mindset. Whether we can speak up or we don't speak up, it is a mindset barrier. Many a times, many of you would have a great content in mind because you know what you're speaking is going to be relevant. But then you don't speak up, right? So speaking up is very crucial part. Then coming down to how will you be able to perform well at work? How can you be the star at your work? I'll introduce you to a couple of points, but let me take two questions which are come here. One of the question is by Navneet. He says, how do you improve in communication skills, especially publicly in groups? Okay, so that's a great question, Navneet. I'm also a public speaking trainer, and I have a favorite line which I keep speaking all the time, and I say the only way you can enhance your public speaking is by speaking publicly. There is no other way out. Okay, there is no other way out. Okay, so if you wish to improve your public speaking, if you wish to present yourself, you will have to stop worrying what others will think. You just need to have one very clear picture in mind that you have to get more confident. Okay, so I hope many of you would have seen the movie 83, which just got released this year or last year. So that movie actually showcased that probably Kapil Dev was all about confidence, because he knew that he wasn't the best in terms of the command over language which was needed, people thought was needed as a part of being the captain of the Indian cricket team. So I hope that resonates with you. So having the right confidence and then presenting yourself again, over and over again on a period of time helps you build that credibility also within your team. So, and another follow-up question to this, which has been asked by Vignesh, where he says, how can you help team members being more confident? See, when we talk about working in teams, I feel there are just two things which need to be understood while working for an excellent teamwork. One is empathy, and the other one is, giving them the initiatives. So one, if you want to have a team which is working in synchronicity with confidence, I would say be empathetic to them, let them present their points, be a motivator for them, make them feel comfortable to speak up whatever they have in their mind. Because right now, when I deal with students at times, I feel that many times in our schools and colleges, the way the young minds were groomed was the wrong way. When you speak up in the class and you don't speak up right, so instead of clapping for you if the teacher tells you that you spoke, the wrong tense, your motivation level goes out. Next time you will not even stand up and speak. So motivation, giving the right kind of push is very, very crucial, and this works everywhere. This works everywhere, whether it's your school, it's college, or it's a corporate. Wherever you find a good culture, the culture is because of empathy. The culture is because all of us are moving towards the same direction, not pulling each other down, but pulling each other up. So that's how it goes well. So if another question which is asked by Kshitij, he says, how do you keep yourself confident if you're not aware of the content? Well, Kshitij, if you're talking about a corporate meeting, if it's a work related structure, I believe if you are a dedicated professional, you would have some bleak idea about what is the agenda of the meeting. So that goes on to say that you need to be prepared for your meeting. You don't go unprepared for that, so that you are able to have some idea what is being talked about. And secondly, like I said, in order to ace your communication skills, listening effectively is one of the all-time hacks. I mean, if you've heard about the top orators of the world, these people are also the greatest listeners. They have the capability to listen, because if you're not able to listen to someone, you will not be able to analyze it well, you will not be able to present it well. So in order to make sure that you are able to present your best self, you're able to put forward your points effectively with confidence, number one, you have to be acing your public speaking. Practice, practice, practice. Second, be an amazing listener. Okay, that is going to help you build on that. I'll be taking the questions. I'll just touch upon seven more points which will help you in discovering how do you become confident at your work, because that might just answer a couple of questions that are there in your mind. Okay. So the first one is, when I say being a star at work, I don't mean that I feel if there is a team of 10 people, all 10 of us can be stars. It's not that I need to shine and the others don't shine. Number one, that is my way of putting things out. So if I am good, others can be good as well. So if I have to be good at work, I will not be demeaning, pulling anyone down, or putting remarks, criticism, which creates any tension in the team. Number one way of being confident at work, being the star at work, is you take initiatives. If there have not been enough chances for you to present yourself, take initiatives. Not everyone is blessed to be in a team which has leaders, which pushes you up or gives you a chance, but you can always give yourself a chance. How can you do that? If you're not being asked to present anything, initiate. Just put request that can I present my thoughts, right? So that you get that opportunity to come in the eyes of everyone. What worst can happen, that people will say that this point doesn't work. That's okay. You got a criticism on your point. So criticism will always be on the point. It will never be on your personality. That is the first understanding that you must create. Very clear here. Okay. Please, because I have been a public speaker on my life, and all my stage hostings have not been perfect. I have messed up completely many a times, despite of the fact I've been doing it for what, 20 years now, I can say, since school. So whatever you do, don't stop yourself from taking initiatives to get into limelight, to get under spotlight. You have to be continuously be there, out there, presenting yourselves. Okay. So whatever you're up to, whatever you're doing, make sure that you are there. Number two, you have to be networking smartly. I know this point must be coming from all possible people in the world, but it is the most important point, because the kind of era we're living in this era, it's very, very important for you to network properly. Because when you have to present yourself to someone, you need audience. And where will the audience come from? The audience will come through networking. So I have a personal brand. I am working on LinkedIn. I could connect with the right kind of people, and that became my audience where I could present myself. Otherwise, who would give me a chance to randomly come and speak? Nobody is going to ask me to randomly come and speak. Now, this Saturday, I'm going to be speaking at an event of FICCI. So I have been networking very aggressively with people in my area, excuse me, to make sure that I am able to present myself. I need to stand out. Okay. So for standing out, you have to be very, very effectively networking with people. Number three, you have to be managing yourself at work. Now, when I say managing yourself at work, what I intend to say is you have to be managing your emotions. It is very, very crucial. When you go to work, you need to leave your, emotional aspect out of it. The only thing you need to carry to work is your empathy and your positive vibes. Because if you go in the work with the point of view of jealousy, with the point of view of competition, believe me, you're doomed. There is no way you can excel maybe once or twice with some, divine coming into picture. But otherwise, if you're not working on the laws of the universe, if you're not working on the laws of kindness and empathy, eventually everything is going to sham down. Okay, so make sure that you move out of your work. When you go out, you're going out there not to compete with anyone, but just to present your best version, to be your own better version than what you were there before. Okay, that is something if you do every single day, believe me, it doesn't bring out a very quick change to the way people look at you, but consistently when you keep outperforming yourself and your efforts are being, noticed and start bringing results, you start becoming indispensable. And I've experienced this myself. I started my career as an employee. I'm still connected with those brands where I was working as an employee. Being an entrepreneur, I still get projects through them. So in corporate, they say you never burn the bridge on which you walk. So networking and being honest and consistently performing is very, very crucial. So emotions, emotions they call this energy in motion. So when you have negative energy in motion is going to be doomed. You will not know what you're speaking. You might pick up a fight with your, colleagues, etc. That is going to actually, bring your confidence down, because the next time you have a meeting and those two people are sitting in that team room where, which with whom you had a fight, you will be at this ease. You will not be comfortable speaking in front of them. Okay, because you would feel that, okay, these people are going to pull me down. So why to pick up a war with anyone for that matter? Be empathetic and kind to everyone. Number four, always work towards the big picture. That goes on to say that when you're working at your job, do not focus on very small, small things. Accomplishing small goals is important, but then you need to have clarity of what is the organizational goal, what is it that we are trying to do, because this will show that you are committed to your organization. This will show that you really want to be part of them. I really enjoyed my, employee time while I was working with the brands, because one thing which I got to do was I was given full freedom. I was not given full freedom. I proved myself to get that full freedom where I could openly present my ideas, and with God's grace, 90% of the times they were being accepted. So you feel very fulfilled when your ideas are being appreciated. But when will your ideas be appreciated? When they are coming through genuinity. When they are not focused only for your growth, when you're not, they call it buttering. So when you're buttering, it's very, very, you anyone knows what is happening. But when you're working for the organizational goal, when you have the bigger picture, the holistic approach, that is the time when you will be able to confidently put yourself out and, become that spotlight. You will become that important part of the organization where people would know that when this person speaks, he's going to give some points which are going to give us a long term, insights to the whole situation. So that is really, really helpful. It has worked wonders for me. Then, very important, learn to follow before you want to make followers. Okay, so which goes on to say having mentors in life, having somebody whom you can listen, ask questions is very crucial. Whether it's a corporate, whether it's your, you're working on your own business, whether you have your own setup, whatever it is, having a set of people whom you can follow, whom you can ask is very crucial. Because when you know how to follow, that is the time you will know how to lead. All the followers have ended up becoming leaders. So all leaders that you see in the past, they all have been followers. They religiously followed few things in order to understand how to lead. So in order to lead, you have to become an excellent follower. That is something which is going to be very, very crucial. Then the next point, which is very interesting, is that you need to lead people to their great future. Somebody asked a question, I think Vignesh had asked a question, that how you can help your team. So that is actually one of the very important aspects, because when you're working in a team, whether it's a set of 2 people, 4 people, or 6 people, when you're working together, when you're working in collaboration, your confidence automatically boosts up, because you know that if you will falter or some point will be missed, there is a person in your team who is as involved as you are, who is as committed as you are, and they will help you in picking it up and presenting it so well. Okay, so this will actually give you, I mean, honestly, if you want to be successful, I always say build a team. It's not even build a team, I say build your backup. Make yourself such in an organization that even if you're not part of the organization can run on that particular day. Although this will make you feel that okay, that means the organization can let me go, but no, the organization doesn't let go the people who cultivates leaders. The organization will only let go the people who are not making more people like them. But when you are able to make people like you, who are as committed, as confident, as involved in the whole process, the organization would never ever leave that kind of a person. You will always be under the spotlight, whether you're in the meeting or whether you're remotely attending the meeting. Nowadays, there are few clients of mine where I attend only remote meetings. But although everyone else has to be present, but I know that I have made that space of mine where they know that my remote presence is as effective as me being there personally. So you create that particular aspect for you. Okay, and the next one and the last point that I would like take up today is that you have to create and make sure that you are working with excellent productivity and effectiveness. I believe working with effectiveness than efficiency. Okay, these are very closely related terms: effectiveness and efficiency. Efficiency is input output. Okay, you were given a task, you completed 70% of it. You're very efficient. Effectiveness is how accurately you completed the task. So the results of effectiveness are many, many times more to the results of efficiency. Okay, so I hope that resonates with all of you. Okay, so this is these couple of 7 points. If you pick up, I think you will be able to stand out, and you will be able to be that star at your workplace and get that desired spotlight on you, turn by turn, for everyone, wherever you would like to have it. Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring to you in today's session. And we had one more question from Vivan, where he says that how do you stay confident in the face of repeated failure? um, well, Vivan, I'll tell you what, failure is it's just one of the incidences in your life. Okay, so there must be multiple other positive instances in your life that could motivate you, that could push you, that could help you become a little more optimistic about yourself. So you have to leave the past in order to move into the brighter future. Okay, so if you would hear me anywhere any number of times, I just don't talk about failures. I don't talk about them. Failure happened, I learned, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Although if I repeat the same mistake, that is stupidity and I must not do it. But otherwise, don't let your failure stop you from analyzing yourself, from becoming your true self. Okay, so that is something which is very, very crucial. Akhil has asked for some tips on networking. Okay, networking tips are, they are genuinely probably known to all of us, and I would just repeat four, five of them. Depending on what particular industry you are, choose the right platform. Okay, so whether you are into corporate or you are into freelancing industry or you are a creator, depending on where your audience is, choose the right platform, whether it's the blog platform, it's the audio platform, podcast, it's a video platform, YouTube, it's the images platform, Instagram. Choose the right platform for creating your personal brand. Number two, make sure that you put authentic self out. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to be becoming somebody else. Just present yourself the way you are. People appreciate authenticity more than, a packed combination of 20, 30 other things. So find the right platform, present your authentic self. Number three is go out there and network. Okay, you have to be going out and talking to people. Number four, you have to be very, very courteous in your approach. And number five, you have to be selfless. Okay, so if you go out networking thinking I am the one who's going to make all the benefit, believe me, you cannot network with this mindset. You can only network when you have empathy. When you're ready to give is the time you receive. If you only want to receive, then you will receive this. But when you're giving, then what you can receive is something you can't even imagine. Okay, right. So Yogesh says suggest good books for improving. I think, Yogesh, there are nth number of resources. All the books out there are good, but if you ask me, the book that I have read specifically on what public speaking. I haven't read any books as such on public speaking. I think practicing public speaking is more important and crucial. But if you want to enhance your networking, you want to enhance your personal branding, just be there on LinkedIn. It's more like a figure it out yourself. That's how I have done it. You read through books, they are excellent resources, but I feel that until unless you don't go out and do it, it's not going to bring much of a change. Because the book that I am reading these days, it's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Okay, so that is the book I'm reading these days. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It has got nothing to do with public speaking, confidence building. It is about winning your own self. Because I think once I win my own self, the rest of the world is not an issue. Okay, so any more questions if you have? I hope I could help you understand why work is crucial. It is crucial, okay, whether you like it or not. Because I really don't enjoy post when we say that okay, it's another Monday again, why did Saturday Sunday end so much? Because for me the week is all same. Every day is a new day to explore. How does it matter? Because I really miss going to work. So I work also on Sundays because I really love what I'm doing. So try to pick up things that you love to do, that will help you, that will help you living your life, authentically. Get that why and passion from your life. It will help you in being more confident. Confidence comes when you enjoy what you're doing. Okay, so that's my simple way of expressing things. So if you have any other questions in mind, you can put them down. Otherwise, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, follow my content. I think yesterday only I completed some 6,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is a huge, huge amount for me because I really feel, overwhelmed that how nicely I have to write. Every time I put out content, it has to be so good that it's going to reach out to 6,000 people who think that I am adding value to them. So it is something which is, very, very overwhelming for me, and I'm trying to get hold of it. Okay, so somebody's asking, confidence can sometimes reduce due to team culture and bad managers. Yes, I did. I do agree to that. Like I said, you will not always get the leaders who are ready to, push you. But it doesn't mean that you can't grow yourself. There are incorporate how I manage this kind of work culture. We all get a chance to work with a good and a bad manager. So while I was having my own, stringe with a not so good manager was that I actually, used written communication as one of the strongest tools. Okay, because written communication is a very strong tool because then everything is documented. So I used to make sure that every time I'm putting in effort, I am doing it in a document. and I'm putting it across to the people I report and to the needed CCs. So this actually helps you remain in the spotlight, remain in that star category, even if your manager is not supporting enough. Because even if he is not supporting, but if you are working towards the good of the organization, if you're pushing the organization in the right direction, if you're giving them the right inputs, people appreciate. Okay, the whole of the hierarchy is never wrong. It is never wrong in an organization. You only find 1%, 0.5% of the people here and there. The rest of the world is a good place. Okay. All right. Anyone else who is going to be asking any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. And I'm going to be, back again with another session. You all will be notified about it soon, which is going to be a follow-up session of how assertive communication can be picked up at workplace. So I'll be talking about that in the upcoming sessions. So make sure that you stay tuned and stay with me for this series of 9 to 10 lectures, where I'm going to help you in uncovering those small myths and small tricks, which will help you in getting the desired spotlight, which you all deserve. Okay, we all deserve that respect and kindness, and we all must give that respect and kindness to everyone else. Okay. Okay, how to stand up to people in the workplace? Like Akhil, I said, you do not have to compete with everyone. You do not have to be. You have to be just your best own version. Take that mindset out. You have to get out of this mindset that you are competing, or you have to, stand up against something, or you have to. You just need to make sure that you are working towards the organizational goal. You are not involving yourself in the petty politics which is there in the organizations at times, and you work towards the holistic achievement of the organization. And this all will happen only when you are working in the industry, in the company, at the designation which you really enjoy and you would love to carry on doing. Because otherwise we work with a fear mentality that if I don't do this, I'll be going out of job. And the only reason I will be worried, if the only reason I'm worried to go out of job is because it gives me money, then you're in the wrong job. You should be worried that if I will not get to do this the next day, how will I survive? So that is more important. Then that's what I said. Knowing your why of work is very crucial. Okay, and it is a task. It takes a while for us to figure that out. So make sure you do that for yourself every single day. Try to get an answer to this, because the day you get this answer, life is sorted. Believe me, it's sorted forever. Okay. All right. Great. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining in today. I hope I added some value. Thankful to Creator for this great opportunity. Right. And if you want to find me, you can just go to Google and type Sneha Sharma the coach. I have invested a lot of my time and effort in creating that personal brand for myself. You can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere with the name Sneha Sharma the coach. I also have a YouTube channel with the same name, right? So I hope I added some value, and I hope to keep doing the same. Thank you very much for joining. Have a blessed day ahead. Have a lot of fun. Thank you very much for joining. Take care. Bye bye. Good day.